Think about the precise physical sensation in your chest when a friend unexpectedly texts you to cancel dinner plans you were dreading. Notice the drop in your heart rate, the way your shoulders relax, and the feeling of exhaling a breath you didn't know you were holding. Modern culture aggressively romanticizes a highly visible, constantly booked calendar, carrying a very specific type of shame for wanting to do absolutely nothing. That massive wave of relief is a biological signal. It is a clear message from your nervous system that you have successfully avoided a sensory overload. To understand why, we have to look at how your brain processes reality. If you naturally crave solitude, your nervous system operates like a high-fidelity computer processor. You pick up on microscopic details in your environment, meaning you are likely suffering from massive data overload. When you finally lock your front door and embrace the silence, you are not hiding from reality. You are executing a mandatory system requirement to prevent systemic psychological burnout. This dynamic is grounded in a psychological framework called optimal arousal theory. It states that every single human requires a specific baseline of external stimulation to feel comfortable and alert. Highly extroverted individuals operate with a massive threshold for stimulation. They require chaos to feel energized. They gather their internal energy from the noise, rapid movement, and unpredictability of crowded spaces. This graphic shows the introverted baseline. The extrovert's meter requires massive input, while the introverted system has a low stimulation requirement, reaching maximum capacity immediately. Routine activities, like a grocery store or networking event, bombard you until your capacity overflows. Home is the only environment where you can perfectly curate these inputs. You control the lighting, you control the volume, and control the emotional demands. Understanding where your unique stimulation baseline sits is the first mechanical step in treating chronic social fatigue. Beyond sensory volume, your exhaustion is driven by internal chemistry. Introverted and extroverted brains are triggered by entirely different chemical fuels. When an outgoing person walks into a busy, loud room, their brain releases a massive surge of dopamine. This is the neurotransmitter tied to external rewards, novelty, and high-energy excitement. In this brain model, a completely different pathway lights up for introverts. Your nervous system prioritizes acetylcholine, a chemical that rewards deep internal focus and quiet reflection. It gives you a biological high for solitary activities, like reading a book. Yet there is an invisible glitch in this quiet software: highly active mirror neurons. If you crave solitude, you likely act as a biological, emotional sponge. You do not simply notice the moods of the people around you. Your highly active mirror neurons force your brain to biologically absorb and simultaneously process the unexpressed stress, the excitement, and the frustrations of dozens of strangers all at once. When you leave a crowd, your brain isn't simply tired from standing around. It is experiencing a severe psychological overload from processing massive amounts of uncontrolled emotional data. To stop this cycle of chronic exhaustion, you need a structured, mechanical sequence to clear the cache. This is the daily recharging blueprint. Phase 1 is the sensory fast. The moment you cross the threshold of your home after a long day, drop all sensory input to absolute zero. Before you check your mail, turn on a screen, or talk to your family, give yourself exactly 15 minutes of complete deprivation. Sit in a dimly lit room in total silence. This acts as a physical circuit breaker for your nervous system. It sends a clear biological signal to your brain that the hypervigilance required by the outside world can finally be turned off. Phase 2 is the cognitive offload. Highly observant minds trap the events of the day inside their head, running an endless, exhausting loop of analysis over things that have already happened. You have to physically extract those thoughts. Take a physical piece of paper and write down the unresolved conversations, the lingering tasks, and the abstract anxieties from your day. By transferring the data from your mind onto the paper, you give your prefrontal cortex explicit permission to close those mental browser tabs, freeing up essential processing power for your recovery. This brings us to Phase 3, which requires defining the critical difference between true restorative solitude and digital distraction. Many people claim they are recharging by staying home, but they spend 4 hours mindlessly scrolling through social media. This is not resting. You are force-feeding your processor a brand new stream of chaotic, uncurated data from thousands of strangers. True active rest means engaging your acetylcholine network. You need a gentle, focused activity that lacks external pressure. Organize a bookshelf, engage in a tactile hobby, or simply sit and let your mind wander freely without a screen. This preference for a quiet, structured environment is a form of liberation. Silence provides the necessary bandwidth for your brain to repair its emotional resilience and synthesize the complex data points it absorbed throughout the day. To help you start clearing your mental cache tonight, I have put together a free solitude scheduling template. It includes the exact routine and cognitive offloading prompts you need to transition into deep rest. Click the link in the description to download it right now, and I will see you in the next video.